imprisoned in a men's prison, this black woman unleashed her Delta Force training. When Sergeant Major Jordan Hayes, a highly decorated black woman and elite Delta Force operator, was convicted of espionage and arms trafficking, the world was stunned. The evidence was airtight. The sentence, 25 years in federal prison. But the real shock came when she was transferred to a maximum security male facility. Her legal team protested. The prison board ignored them. A clerical error, they said. What no one realized was this. It wasn't an accident. The same shadowy agency she once served, the one she walked away from after refusing to carry out an illegal drone strike, wanted her gone, forgotten, erased. They figured dumping her into a violent men's prison would do the job. But they forgot who she was. From the moment she stepped into Stonegate Correctional, the air changed. Inmates jeered, guards mocked. But Jordan didn't flinch. She observed, calculated, waited. In Delta Force, she was trained for extraction, hand-to-hand combat, and high-risk infiltration. Stonegate to her was just another battlefield. When a prison gang leader tried to test her in the yard, she dismantled him in under 10 seconds using a broken broomstick and a dislocated shoulder lock. No one challenged her again. She stayed silent, tactical, but always watching. What the inmates didn't know, Jordan was building her own underground network. She protected the vulnerable and earned quiet loyalty. She mapped every hallway. She memorized guard rotations. She cracked the corrupted surveillance system in the prison library with a modified book scanner. Then she found what she needed, a flash drive hidden in the warden's office. Inside was proof that she was set up and that powerful figures in the private prison industry had paid to bury her in Stonegate. She had her evidence. Now she needed an exit. The riot came at midnight, but she didn't start it. She engineered it. Power cut, doors unlocked. Fights erupted everywhere. In the chaos, Jordan moved like a ghost. She reached the control room, broadcast the drive's contents across the federal justice system, and walked straight into the prison yard, just as helicopters descended. Not to rearrest her, but to extract her. The flash drive caused a political earthquake. Congressional investigation, 3 resignations, 1 suicide. The agency that tried to destroy her was dismantled piece by piece. Jordan Hayes didn't just... Today, she leads a covert recovery unit, Task Force Phoenix, focused on rescuing wrongly imprisoned individuals and dismantling corrupt private prison systems. And in every prison across the country, there's a legend of a woman who walked into hell, walked out untouched, and burned the system to the ground. They locked up the wrong woman. She didn't break, she broke them! Would you like a thumbnail for this version or a next chapter following her new task force? After the world saw the footage Sergeant Major Jordan Hayes leaked during the Stonegate prison riot, she didn't disappear. She went dark. Officially, she was relocated. Unofficially, she was recruited, not back into the army, not into any government agency, but into a black-budget shadow unit made up of ex-operatives, whistleblowers, and former victims of the very system she exposed. They called it Task Force Phoenix. Their goal, dismantle the private prison empire from the inside out and finish what Jordan started. The first target? Crimson Lock Holdings, the private corporation behind over 70% of US detention contracts. They'd paid politicians, judges, and dirty agents to ensure cells stayed full and whistleblowers stayed silent. Jordan didn't kick in their doors. She hit them where it hurt. Data. Her team infiltrated Crimson Lock's HQ in Miami using a fake environmental inspection order. While a former hacker named Marlowe created a phantom power surge, Jordan and Ramirez, the same officer who once discovered her file in Stonegate, accessed the internal servers and pulled a hidden database called Gold Chain. Inside, bribes to judges for wrongful convictions, secret transfers of inmates for unregulated testing, a contract to build a Stonegate 2.0 in an offshore location. But Crimson Lock had muscle too. The next night, Jordan's safe house in Atlanta was hit. Drones, mercs, silencers. They wanted to erase her. Again. This time she was ready. She led the mercs into a trap, an abandoned subway tunnel wide with flashbangs and triggered collapses. What they didn't expect, Jordan had rigged a live feed of the entire ambush and streamed it to multiple media outlets under a preset timer. The world saw mercenaries hunting a war hero in real time. Public outrage exploded. Crimson Lock's CEO was arrested at an airport trying to flee to Dubai. Several politicians tied to the gold chain, still foreign interests investing in American incarceration, still ghosts from her military past waiting in the dark. So she moved again. New identity, new base, same fire in her blood. Because Jordan Hayes doesn't stop. She was trained to neutralize global threats, and now she's doing exactly that. Except this time, the battlefield is home.
Part 3.
Where Jordan goes after international backers of the prison industrial complex, or a spin-off focusing on Ramirez's own leaks that rattled the nation. Sergeant Major Jordan Hayes had one target left: the architects, the hidden elite, the billionaires and global financiers who built the prison empire that nearly destroyed her life and profited off thousands like her. They called themselves the Sentinels, a private cabal of ultra-wealthy donors, defense contractors, lobbyists, and tech moguls who funneled billions into the prison industrial complex under shell corporations. With ties stretching from Wall Street to Dubai to Hong Kong, they didn't run prisons. They owned the laws that filled them. Jordan and Task Force Phoenix began their most dangerous mission yet, Operation Blackglass. Step 1, follow the money! Jordan's hacker Marlowe uncovered an encrypted chain of offshore accounts pointing Volcrest Group, a mysterious conglomerate with no public face but massive influence in private surveillance, biometric control, and inmate labor outsourcing. Step 2, get inside. Ramirez went undercover as a hired contractor for Volcrest's South African subsidiary. What he found shocked even Jordan. The company had started exporting prisoners, American inmates trafficked into third world work camps, untraceable by any domestic agency. Step 3, expose the truth. Jordan had a plan. Hit Volcrest's shareholder meeting in Zurich. Not with guns, with evidence. She posed as an African telecom investor and crashed the private summit with a live decryption of Volcrest's black books. Every major player was named, every illegal deal exposed. The feed was broadcast to major international media in seconds. Panic erupted. One sentinel leapt from a skyscraper. Another fled to a country with no extradition treaty. 2 more went into hiding. The UN launched an emergency probe. US lawmakers called it the biggest corporate criminal conspiracy since Enron on steroids. But this wasn't just about exposure. Jordan's endgame was more than headlines. She took control. With support from global watchdog agencies and grassroots prison reform groups, she helped launch Project Nova, an international task force to investigate and dismantle for-profit incarceration systems. For the first time in modern history, prison profiteering was being treated as a war crime. But the Sentinels weren't all gone. One man remained, Lucian Ward, the financier who ordered Jordan's arrest from the shadows, a ghost who disappeared after Stonegate collapsed. Jordan tracked him to an isolated fortress in the Swiss Alps, protected by private armies and drone sentries. Getting in would be impossible, unless you were trained for the impossible. As a blizzard rolled in, Jordan approached the compound alone, armed with nothing but a winter suit, a silenced pistol, and 2 flash drives. By dawn, the fortress was empty. Lucian Ward was gone, taken. The next time he was seen, sitting in front of the International Criminal Court in The Hague, shackled, pale, and silent. And Jordan? She didn't appear at the trial. She didn't need to. The message was clear. You tried to bury me in a cell. Now I bury your entire world.